I want you to hit the share button. Let's see here. We've got 1 minute till showtime. My guys are setting up the stage right now, the studio. This is where you go ahead and hit the share button because we got 50 seconds to showtime. I'll count us in. 46, 45, 44, 43. Give me, help me. Thank you, Marcus Stamos. Mic check, very good. 39, 30. I need residual checks. 36. Thank you. 34, 33. Give me the air horn. Thank you. 30. We got, thank you. I always need my drink. 28. 25 seconds. Yes, thank you. Troll Patrol. I need the laptop. There we go. Perfect. 20, 19. Yes, don't forget to hit the share button. This is my share wig. Thank you for that. Thank you, Elliot. We got 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, new shirt, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live from Hickory. It's country-ish. Alan!
Just a country boy, and he's making it good. He was y'all's underdog, dressed in overalls, living next to the wood. He liked to eat the sushi, but he don't even fish. Not so much a country boy, it's more like he's country-ish. Moved out of Hickory and headed for Southern Cal. Wound up in TV and film, making Popsicle proud. Now this country boy is back with his family. Got himself a podcast, he knows it'll last, 'cause he's in Hickory.
Hello, I'm Jon Reep. We have an issue right here in Hickory, the lack of Uber drivers. I'm here to fix that. There's a lot of old, retired senior citizens laying around doing nothing, using our tax dollars to watch reruns of the Andy Griffith Show. How about we put them to work? Let's give them a reason to live. My program will mandate all senior citizens to be on call and ready at the drop of a hat from the hours of 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. and drive me anywhere I need to go at a moment's notice. And I'll probably make it available for you as well. We got a lot of grandmas, a lot of grandpas doing nothing, not enough Ubers. My program, Goobers. For example, let's say I've had one too many at the Hickory Tap Room and now I want to go to the Hickory Tavern. Call a Goober. Yeah, they're probably going to talk your head off. They'll probably play music you don't want to hear, but that's a small price to pay. Jon Reep, Mayor of Hickory. Huh? Not a bad idea, right? What up, bumpkins? How you doing? Listen, I want you to have a good time. I want you to be happy. And if you're not happy, let me work on that for you. All right, let me turn that frown upside down. Assuming you have a frown, who knows? Welcome to Country-ish. It is March the 22nd, 2022, and we have a magical memory lane matriarchal show for you today. It's National Goof Off Day. And that's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm in Nashville goofing off with my friends, celebrating my 50th birthday party. So this is a pre-recorded show, but don't go anywhere. I still want you to leave comments here in a minute, and we'll get to them. But I thought, well, on my birthday, who should I be celebrating? Not me. How about the person who brought me into the world? So I got my mom in here today, and she's going to be joining me. She's actually the first co-host outside of Mark or Sean to be sitting at this desk. Woo-hoo! That's right. Welcome, Mimosa. We're going to get to all this kind of good stuff. Let me ask you a question, Mom. What was your favorite be thinking of it. You don't have to answer it right now. But what was your favorite birthday? How old were you? What was the event? Was it a gift? What was it? You answer that at home. Leave it in the comments section. Next week, if it's funny or interesting, I'll read it on the show. And here's how you know that I do that. I will ask you a question right now. Now, I know this is pre-recorded, but it is the 22nd of March, and we're streaming live. even though we're not live. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube right now. Here's the question. I already asked you the question. Last week was the question was, have you ever been stuck in a tree? And some of you answered that question. Let's see here. Amanda Moore, she said, I lived up in trees as a kid, never stuck, either building forts, spying on boys, or most likely reading. Oh, there she is. I hear you, Amanda Moore. I love trees too. I climbed them all the time. And I even built a fort up there one time. Didn't do much reading up there, but yeah, spying on boys. I hear you. Mandy Carter, she said, yes, I was stuck in a tree upside down, as a matter of fact. My sister pulled up to see Mom found me. I'm going to read it just like she wrote it, okay? Now, this is on you guys. All right, I was trying to fix your grammar. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to read it the way you wrote it. Here we go. Mandy Carter, she said, yes, I was stuck in a tree, upside down, as a matter of fact. My sister pulled up to see Mom found me hanging by my ankle. Wow, that's scary. Didn't we know someone?
Matt Robinson.
Can you lean in and talk into the microphone?
Matt Robinson.
Yeah? What was that deal?
He was hunting, and I don't know whether he fell asleep or somehow or another he fell out of his stand and got caught upside down for hours, I think.
Wow.
And it was, I think he thought he was about ready to go.
My goodness gracious. I haven't attempted to climb a tree since I was probably 13 or, I don't know, maybe in my teens. But we'll get to more tree stuff here in a second. Sorry to hear that, Mandy. Glad you made it out alive. Myrtle Parsons says, I used to sleep up in trees when I was a kid. My mom was scared at first, but after a while, she wasn't. She would laugh at me for jumping tree to tree like Tarzan. Yes, Myrtle. That's how you do it. I've done that myself. Feel like Tarzan, like a ninja up there practicing ninja skills. I'm with you. Betty Reep, my mom says you climbed a tree at camp one year. I did, but you weren't there, but you saw a picture.
I saw a picture.
Yeah. This was a big tree.
It was a very big tree. I didn't see you at first.
Oh, really?
It was such a big tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was a part of the youth group at West Hickory Baptist Church, and every year it seemed like we would go to the New River and just go camping and tubing. We'd get on the river, pitch tents just for a weekend, and there was this big tree right next to the water, and I love climbing trees. I climbed all the way up to the top of it as far as I could go, and then someone took a picture. I remember being up there going like, this might be too far.
Yeah.
So, yes. Blake Andrew Harris, he said, when I was a kid, I used to climb trees all the time, so much that I climbed a tree that was really tall, the tallest one in the park, and it was swaying so much that I couldn't get a footing to climb down without its swinging. More needless to say, they called the fire department, and I was banned from the park, and I would sneak in just to climb the rooftops baseball dugouts that stretched over the mound above the batter and trees. And I read it just like he wrote it. No punctuation. Batters, baseball was in there twice. I love the comments. Alan, didn't we have a National Proofreading Day not long ago?
Yes, we did.
I would encourage my bumpkins to proofread. Otherwise, I'm going to read it like you wrote it. And
or they can seek out a mentor like a John Heffron or something who can help them with their spelling and proofreading.
Yeah, John Heffron is... Blake, don't worry. My buddy John Heffron, worse than you. But that sounds fun. I wonder how old you were when you did all that. But yeah, I love climbing trees. Mom, as a matter of fact, isn't there a story about how we were at Granny's one time and I climbed? Did she want to change a diaper? What's that story?
She had picked you and Jason up at daycare.
Okay.
And so you, as soon as she pulled into the driveway, you jump out. She was trying to get Jason out of the car seat, and you ran and climbed a tree faster than she could get Jason out of the car. Scared her to death.
Yes. I actually remember that tree at Granny's house. and I used to climb it all the time.
All the time.
When we'd go over there. And I believe that same area is where we would, if we got in trouble, we'd go grab a switch from that area. So sometimes I go out there and just clear up all the switches in case I got in trouble, do some recon. Like, there's no switches to be found. And I'm up in a tree having a good time. All right, listen, if you want to help this podcast, there's many ways you can do it. You can hit the share button, which is always good. You could be a Patreon supporter, which we love. But if you have no money at all, you can simply write us a nice review on Apple Podcast. Give us 5 stars. And if you do that, we'll read it on the show. And I believe we have a new one, right, Mom?
Yes.
Oh, you want to read it?
This is by Roscoe P. Coltrane, $1 $2 $3 $4 Funny podcast, and it doesn't hurt that he isn't throwing Joe under the bus.
Yes, right. Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Joe Rogan is
okay.
another podcaster, very popular podcaster. In fact, he might have the #1 podcast on the planet. Comedian. And I was basically, I put a picture up of me saying I support Joe because he was just all about asking questions about vaccines and mandates and masks and all that stuff. And he's a fellow comedian and he had me on his show and I was just showing support for my buddy Joe. So that's what that is referring to. All right, hit the share button. I don't know if I want to do this, Alan, and thank goodness I don't have to go to the interns.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody here to tell you that you have to do this.
That's right.
So it's completely
What do you
up
think
to
of the
at this
share
point.
stare, Mom?
Truthfully,
Yes.
I don't like it.
Can you hear her, Alan? Okay, all right.
I don't particularly care for it.
Oh, good. Then I'm not going to do it now.
Thank you.
What is it you don't like about it?
I don't like that wig on your head.
Right. Okay, good. I love truthful, honest answers, so we are going to skip the share stare, but that doesn't mean I don't want you to hit the share button anyway. Hit the share button. It goes like that. It helps us grow. All right, we're also a podcast for your ear holes, all right? A regular podcast, not just live on Facebook and YouTube, but we're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, we're on it. Let me plug some tour dates real quick. Right now, I'm hanging out in Nashville with my friends, celebrating my 50th birthday. I just played the Grand Ole Opry Friday night. I hope that went good. I have no idea. I'm going to say it went great. Next gig, April 1st, Appleton, Wisconsin. I'll be at the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center. Come see me there. April 22 and 23, I will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Tulsa Comedy Club. And April 29 and 30, I will be in Syracuse, New York at the Syracuse Funny Bone. Come see me there. All righty, Mom. Thanks for coming. I love the shirt you're wearing today.
Thank you.
If you don't know what that is, folks, that means you're not paying attention to me and my career. That T-shirt is from my latest comedy album, so it's just audio only, called Ginger Pain. And I'm such a fan of Prince, I made it sound like Purple Rain, so I took a picture of me on a motorcycle. I changed everything from purple to ginger. So there it is, Ginger Pain. That's Mom supporting me. So, Mom, let's talk about, we'll go to you first. Does any birthday stand out for you as a kid?
Probably when I was 6 or 7, maybe 8.
Yeah.
My first bicycle.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
And was it at a party or did you just wake up and it was there? How was it presented to you?
Probably, we didn't really have birthday. I had a 16th birthday party. It's really the only one. There were 5 kids in my house, so
That's right.
we just celebrated around either the dinner or the lunch or the dinner table.
Okay.
With the birthday cake and
So the bicycle was probably like already assembled in the garage and he said, have at it?
yes, and we had just like OL South. We had so many kids in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
And we didn't have to worry about getting on our bicycles and riding all the way to Longview School, where I went to school. Played on the playground. My parents didn't worry about us.
Yeah.
We rode all over the neighborhood. And it was just great having my own brand new bicycle.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite ones, too, a bicycle. We used to put cards in the spokes.
Yep.
Remember this? To make it sound like a motorcycle. And I think y'all got me a Huffy. And I have a memory of this. Well, I had a lot of great birthdays. Some of them were at Burger King, where that was a big deal back then. Now
Yes.
Burger King's like everyone goes every day. But back in the day, there weren't all these fast food places. And when you went to Burger King or McDonald's or whatever to have your birthday party, it was a big deal. And so I've got pictures of me wearing the crown, and all my neighborhood friends are there. But the bicycle, that was a different one. I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was 9 or 10 or 11. It was a brand new bicycle, like a dirt bike. And we put the cards in the spokes. And I had a new jacket, too. Like, the jacket was like a tan corduroy jacket with like sheep's fur on the inside of it or something like that. It was really cool looking. I loved my jacket. I had gloves. And I had my Huffy bike, and all my friends, I said, let's go for a spin. And we all quit with the cake and the party and stuff, and we all jumped on our bikes and just did a lap around the neighborhood together like we were some biker gang or something. And we went back to the house. And that was one of my fondest memories of my birthday. Now, I'm turning 50. And you brought in, well, first of all, you got me this card.
Right.
Look at this. My mom got me a 50th birthday card. Can I read this
Yes.
card? All right. It says, happy 50th birthday. So how does it feel to be 50? Because you sure don't look 50. I really can't believe you're 50. What's the matter? Tired of me saying 50? Okay, I'll never say 50 again. Jeez, your 50-year-olds sure are touchy. P.S. 50. She says, hope you have, your handwriting is as bad as mine. Hope you have a very blessed 50th month, week, day. You are very special to us and are loved more than we can ever express. Got these shirts thinking of you, your Nashville birthday trip and Grand Ole Opry. Happy birthday. We love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for the shirts. And I will be taking those to Nashville. I didn't wear it today, but I get hot. But thank you. Huh? Best mom ever. And what is this you brought in?
I brought your Milestones baby book.
Oh, boy. And what all is in this Milestones baby book?
Well, it's got a picture of when you were still in the hospital. They had brought you in
Oh,
to
boy. Look at me.
the room for a mommy visit. And my sister and her husband were there, and they're the first ones that took a picture of you.
Which sister?
Lorena.
Lorena was there?
Mm-hmm.
So Lorena saw me before you?
No. You had already
I know
been.
that part. I'm just
Yes.
saying, in terms of a visit, maybe Lorena was. Okay, interesting. And there's me in some sort of, looks like a dish that you would cook food in. Don't we have a glass dish like that?
Yes.
There's me, all I still make that pose in the morning when I wake up. Oh, and then let's scroll down. Let's see Mom and Dad. Oh, look at this. Wow. So when was this picture taken of you guys? Was that year? I mean,
It
I know
probably was, because that's a picture that was taken for a church directory.
you don't have a date on here.
No,
Okay, so that would have been in 72 then?
it could have been 73.
73.
No,
Wow.
wouldn't have been 70.
So that was a church directory photo. West Hickory Baptist or a different one?
West Hickory Baptist.
Oh, wow. And how old were you in this picture?
Let's see, 25 or 26.
Wow, 25, 26-year-old MOM'OSA right there with old Popsicle and his nice, cute little camel smile and his...
Seersuckers.
That's a seersucker suit, isn't it? Well, I get it honest, huh? Now, do I look like that? If I shaved my face, would I look?
Yes.
He's younger in this picture than I am now.
He was,
If you were 24, 25, 26,
he's almost.
then he's 4 years older than you.
4 years older, yeah.
So he would have been maybe 30. He's 20 years younger than me in this photo than I am now. That just sounds weird to me. But wow.
Look at all that hair he had.
I know. You too.
And me too,
Look
right.
at them curls. Now you've had short hair as long as I've known you. What made you go from the long hair to the short hair?
Well, when Jason was born, you were 9 months old,
Yeah.
10 months old. And it got to be too much with two little ones because we had just gotten you out of diapers and off the bottle, and Jason comes along, and every chance you got, when I was feeding him and I laid the bottle down, you would come by and get that bottle and start to drink it, and then you'd say, "Shoo, nasty," and throw it down. Well, back then you had to make your own formula.
Okay.
And sterilize the bottles, and I would have to go to the refrigerator, warm up another bottle, and fix it for Jason. And
But what about the hair?
I got it cut because I couldn't maintain. My hair was so long and so thick; it took forever to dry it.
Oh,
and
so it's
style
just
it.
a lot of you didn't have time to deal with
Right,
it.
I didn't have time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I thought at one point you had mentioned to me about swinging from your hair.
Well, yeah. When before Jason was born, and you would just run all. I'd take you outside to play, and I was probably 6 months pregnant, trying to keep up with you, going up a hill.
Yeah.
And then I'd finally catch up with you and pick you up screaming and hollering, and you would just be hanging onto my hair.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a lot of upkeep. I even like, sometimes my hair will be long. Even in that photo, I did the perm. Now, let's talk about that. You gave me and Jason a perm. Well, you didn't do it. But I remember one year, Dad got a perm, and then my brother and I got perms. What started this whole perm craze?
Your daddy.
What
He
was it?
wanted it.
Why? What happened? Was
I
there a
do.
movie that was out?
I don't know. I think there must have been a movie star that had
Yeah.
the curly look, and he said, "Oh, I think I could do that." And then
Right.
he liked his so much he insisted on you
Yeah.
and Jason having it.
He took
done.
me and Jason to the barber shop, and I remember getting a perm and then coming home with that hair and looking like a little orphan Annie, pretty much. Jason's was cute. He had nice blonde hair, but yeah. Well, there we are. That's day one of Jon Reep with his parents, Popsicle and Mimosa. When we come back, we're going to talk about the actual day of me being born, what that day was like. But we got a lot more show to do. We got an Ask Betty segment. We're bringing back Ask Betty for this segment. Some of y'all reached out to me before we recorded this with some questions. I'll ask her. And we got some irrational national holidays we're going to get to. What else is March 26th? But we got a lot more show to do. We'll be right back with more country-ish after this. You guys like to feel good, huh? Well, our friends at Alpine Hemp Company provide some of the highest quality hemp products on the market. From their farm to your cabinet, Alpine delivers the best, highest quality. I got some Delta 8s, assorted flavors, D9s, chocolates, gummies, live resin cartridges, tinctures, and topicals. Great flavor, great taste, great effect. Third-party lab tested, federally legal. You hear that, Mom? Federally legal. Local restrictions may apply. What's the difference between a D8 and a D9? Real simple. Delta 8, sleep great. Delta 9, party time. Treat yourself to the best. Alpine's Hemp Company. Use promo code Jon Reep for 20% off all products. That's JONREEP for 20% all hemp products. And we're back. All righty, let me catch you up on some stuff. Don't forget to hit the share button as always. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. We are doing a new cruise. That's right. And you've got a year and 8 months to save up because we're not doing it this year, not 2022, 2023, November 5 through 11, brand new cruise ship. It's the last one we did was called Mariner of the Seas. This one is way bigger. It's like the biggest one. And we're going 7 days this time. And it's not just me. It'll be John Heffron and Reno Collier. That's right. Wonder of the Seas. We sail out of Canaveral November the 5th, 2023. 7 days. Stop at Coco Cay, Cozumel, Mexico, Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico. It's going to be a blast. So help me come up with a name for this thing. We've done 2 cruises before. The very first one I did was called Laugh Your Nass Off. And then the second one I did was just called the Reeps Peeps Comedy Cruise. But now I got to think of a new name. And we're going to have Reno and Heffron. So try and incorporate that. We're going to do karaoke again. There'll be stand-up comedy. We'll do a happy hour meet and greet sort of thing. We'll probably do a podcast too because I do believe the Alan Jackson will be there on this one to help record some stuff. So it's going to be fun. Mom, do you think you want to go back? I know you've been on the first 2, right?
I would love to if my age don't keep me from coming.
Okay. Well, I'd love to have you. It's a fun time. We're going to talk about my actual birthday here in a minute. Let me update you on some mayor stuff. As you guys know, maybe you saw in the very beginning of the show my political ad. I'm not going to run this year, but what I am going to do is reach out to the other candidates and interview them, quiz them about Hickory, find out what their stance is, what changes they would make in the city of Hickory. And I have reached out to Alan Hoover, no response as of yet. I haven't reached out to Hank Guess yet because he's the incumbent. I feel like we already know Hank. I will eventually. I'm going to talk to the other 2 guys first. But Quintavious Hill has got back to me, and we're going to talk to him when I get back from Nashville. So stay tuned for that. Also, don't forget, I mentioned the Patreon, and I do mean it. It's just, it's how we keep the lights on here. We're listener supported, and we do a new thing called Country-ish After Dark. So for just $5 at the $5 level, you can be a member of the Patreon After Dark show. Really, all we do is bring you into the show. We have, Samantha Dawn Kingston was on the last show. We put them up on the big screen and we talk to them and we play games. So it's really more of a one-on-one thing. So get on countryish.com, click on Patreon for that. Okay, Mama, let's talk about the actual day that I was born. March 26, 1972. What was that day like?
Well, it was a Sunday, Palm Sunday. And got up, got ready, went to church. And during church, I had a pain. And I thought, uh-oh. But
I was the first
stayed.
one, so you were probably nervous.
I was very nervous. In fact, I'll tell you this in a little bit. But so the service was just about done, and then I had another pain. And so David said, today is the day, the place that he worked. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was Clark Tire.
Oh, it was a different tire company.
Yeah.
BF Goodrich?
I think so.
Yeah.
We were having a big cookout for Palm Sunday.
Okay.
So he said, do you want to chance it and go? And I said, well, I don't know. So I didn't have any more pain. So we went home after church, changed clothes, and went to, I can't remember where we had the cookout, but.
Where were you living at this time?
930 3rd Avenue Place, Northwest.
It was an apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
Duplex apartment.
Okay.
So we went on, and everything was going fine. The guys were riding motorcycles, playing horseshoes and all that stuff. And then I had another pain. And David was gone riding a motorcycle, so I didn't say anything to anybody. And then when the guys came back, the burgers were ready, and we ate, and I ate way too much.
Okay.
And then I had another pain. And I said, David, I think maybe we better go because I've had 3 pains since we've been here.
What is this pain like?
It's just like a real hard, painful cramp.
Okay. Was it a kick or is this is like
A cramp.
labor happening? Yeah, okay.
So I said, well, let's stop by Mama's first because I want to tell her how I'm feeling. So we stopped by and visited for a little bit, and I told her how I was feeling. And she said, for heaven's sakes, don't go to the doctor or don't go to the hospital.
Don't.
Because if you go and you're just so many centimeters through, they'll put you in the hospital or in the bed, make you stay, and she said, just wait it out. Your water hadn't broke or anything. So David and I went on home.
Okay.
And about 2 hours later, my water began to break. I didn't know what was happening because it wasn't like a gush.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, my gosh, we better go. Mm-hmm. And so I went into the bedroom.
That would freak me out, too. I've never seen that. I've never seen someone's water break.
I know. I didn't know what
I don't want to ask too many questions. I don't know what all that is that's going on down there when the water's breaking. But as a dude, if I saw that, I'd be like, we're going to the hospital.
And that's
right
what
now.
your dad did.
Okay.
And so I just started crying, and he was packing up the rest of the suitcase, and he took my hand and says, come on. And I just grabbed the bed post. I said, I don't want to go. I'm going to be like an elephant and hold it for another 6 months or so.
An elephant, is that what they do? Okay.
So we went to the hospital, and I thought, well, we're just going, no, we called the doctor first, and he said, well, meet me at the hospital. So we went, and by that time, it was probably 10:30 at night.
Okay.
And so back then the man could not go with his wife to the delivery room, so he had to go to the waiting room.
Oh.
And
Wonder why they switched that.
I don't know.
Yeah, why that was. Nice excuse for a husband to be like, oh, I'm sorry, they won't let me. I guess I have to stand here and smoke cigarettes and watch TV.
And smoke cigarettes. You were allowed to do that. So I was thinking, it's not time. You weren't supposed to be born for another week. But then I thought, well, I don't want him to be born on April Fool's Day either.
Ooh. So, was that the next day?
Well,
oh,
26,
no.
It'd be 4 days.
4 days later would have been April Fool's Day.
I did not want that to happen. So
yeah, I don't want to be no fool. I want to come out Palm Sunday. That's way better.
So they took me to the a room where the nurses came in and prepped me and everything. And so they did the exam, and one nurse said to the other nurse, did Dr. Watering say anything about a breech birth? Then I panicked, and I started crying. I said, this better not be a breech birth, because Dr. Watering promised me that he would put me to sleep.
Oh, boy.
So they hurried me up to the delivery room, and finally Dr. Watering came in.
Watering?
Dr. Watering, Wotring.
Okay.
So he came in, and the nurse said, well, she was halfway through labor. I forgot what she called it. But anyway, I didn't have any more pains. And so she was just mouthing off at him with me laying there, and I turned around. I was starting to tell her, and I had a really, really bad bearing down pain. Mm-hmm. And I knew you were about to come, and I looked at the doctor, and I thought you were supposed to put me to sleep. And next thing I know, you were born.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was a double breech birth, and you were born in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Which was a miracle and a blessing because I was terrified. And
15. Now, what is a normal amount of labor?
Some girls are in labor for days.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
That's why when they went down to tell your dad that you were here, and he said, I just got here. I haven't finished watching Perry Mason.
He was in the waiting room watching Perry Mason, and was bummed that he had to stop watching. He couldn't finish it. Probably had to put his cigarette out early. Come in there and be like, "What is this?" So a double breech birth. For those of you who don't know what a double breech birth is, a breech birth is when you come out feet first. A double breech birth is when you come out butt first.
Yeah,
Bent over, touching your toes, like you're doing yoga, coming out that way. I was folded over is how I came out. Ugh, I cannot imagine. Luckily, it was 15 minutes, right?
Praise the Lord.
Could you imagine being stuck in that? For like days on end when I'm doing that? It probably would have changed the shape of my head or something, you know? But wow, that is double breech. I came out butt first doing some weird yoga pose. I don't even know if I can touch my toes anymore. I wish I could go back in time and do that. But, well, I'm sorry that happened.
That's why I wore, another reason I wore this.
Yeah. Ginger pain.
Even though it was 15 minutes.
That's what I was. On this day, March 26, 50 years ago, I was a ginger pain to my mother. That's crazy. Now, let's talk about the red hair. You, blonde hair. Dad, brown hair. Where did the red come from?
My daddy was redheaded.
Austin.
My aunt,
Your aunt?
one of my aunts was redheaded.
Okay.
And Dad had a redheaded aunt.
Okay. So it's always been lingering around. So, yeah.
And Dad said, well, you know, God's just punishing me for making fun of redheaded kids.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, can't
was-
wait. I'm going to go visit him. We're going to do a popsicle update in a minute, if you don't mind giving everybody a popsicle update. But I'm going to visit him when we're done here. I'm going to remind him of that. Mom told me you made fun of redheaded people. So he said, how was God's punishment?
Well, your red hair was God's
yeah,
punishment.
which is attached to my body, which is me. That's great. Now, did you tell me one time that Dad wanted to name me something different than John? Where did the name come from, and what did he want to name me?
He wanted to name you Christian America. And where that came from, I do not know, but I absolutely...
Well, I was born on Palm Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm
He
an
was a
American.
Christian, yeah.
My skin is white. My hair is red. My eyes are blue. Very
Red, white, and
patriotic.
blue. That's
Red, white, and
true.
blue.
That's true.
So it makes sense a little bit. And that's nowadays, that would be a cool name. If my name right now were Christian America, and you just call me Chris, or whatever I wanted you to call me, that would be a cool name because all these kids now have exotic, crazy names. But not as a kid. I would have probably hated that. What, you changed his mind?
Oh, yes. I said, absolutely not.
And why did
And-
we settle on Jonathan?
Well, I had already picked out if it was a girl, it was going to be Jennifer.
Oh, that's my. Oh, I'm going to identify as Jennifer. One of these days.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
I was supposed to be a Jennifer also.
Oh, really?
We would have both been Jennifers in the
Oh,
same
two
year.
Jennifers in one studio. Okay. So I was either going to be a Jennifer or Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Why Jennifer?
I just thought it was a beautiful name.
So not named after anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
But now Jonathan is a biblical name,
It is. John the Baptist also.
and John the Revelator. And then David was after your dad.
Yep.
So, and then David quickly went with that, Jonathan, because he had a very, very close first cousin
Oh, yeah.
that were
Named
I think-
Jonathan.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they called him John, just like John.
Oh, interesting.
So,
And didn't they burn down a barn together?
oh yeah, they did. They got into all kinds of mischief.
Hmm.
He was. You got into trouble in school too.
Oh, we're going to get to
but-
that, yeah. But what?
But your daddy got into a lot more.
Way worse trouble.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was a little bit straightened out by you. But I get it honest, is what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay, let's show some pictures that were in this book. I thought this was interesting since everyone's talking about vaccines. Turns out I've been vaccinated many times, right at birth. And here's proof. I have been immunized, as Aaron Rodgers would say, from the Green Bay Packers. I have been immunized. Here's my immunization record. I have diphtheria, tinnitus, whooping cough, polio, measles, mumps, and rubella. So never had those because I got vaccinated. Also, I've been vaxxed against the coronavirus, FYI. I'm not saying anything. You do what you want to do. I just thought it was interesting that it was in the book. All right, now let's show this other picture. Did you guys know that I have been in show business for a very long time? This is a Kraft marshmallow commercial. Kraft marshmallows are special. They toast up creamy on the inside, crunchy on the outside. They're the ones most people like the best. And that is not me in this ad, but it came out when I was around this age, right? Mm-hmm. You've had it in the book forever because everyone thought that was me.
Everybody. I mean, your hair was just like that, long and curly and just beautiful, and those beautiful blue eyes. Uh-huh. And you always had a smile on your face.
Yeah, I was a pretty happy kid, huh? Mm-hmm. Like, didn't you tell me that a lot of babies would cry a lot, but I was this weird one that just never cried? Never cried. That's crazy.
He was happy. Never met a stranger.
Interesting. And one day I'll be mayor. Here's something else that was in the book. You guys want to see 50-year-old hair? Well, from a child, though. This is technically 50-year-old hair. But this hair Mom kept. This was after the first haircut, right?
Right.
Look at this. Can y'all see that? Oh, it's so soft. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's my hair at 6 months, a year. How long did you let it grow?
It was August the 5th.
Oh, my gosh. Remember that?
Let's see. It was our 6th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
We got married on August the 5th, 1967. 68, 69, 71, 72, 73. 1973, yep. August the 5th.
And who cut my hair?
Your papa.
My
Reep.
dad's dad.
Mm-hmm. He at one
Perry
time
Reep.
Perry Reep was a barber at one time.
Yeah.
But he is also a well-known car salesman from not Everett Chevrolet.
Yeah. Yeah. He sold Chevys and cut hair. What else did he do? Did he dabble in other
he was
occupations?
Big into politics.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Terry Sanford, he did a lot of campaign work for him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What party was he in? Democrat.
Yes.
There you go. Look at that. What do you know? My dad's dad was a Democrat. That's back when it was a different party. But, yeah, so he cut my hair and you were not too pleased.
Never let him cut it again.
Obviously I don't have any memory of this, but what was it you didn't like about it?
I did not take a picture of it because you did not look like my little Jonathan. You look like a little man. I mean, a 6-7-month-old baby should not look like that.
What, was it like a buzz cut? I mean, was it like, did you put stuff in it and make it, you know what I'm talking about, a buzz cut? You know what I'm talking about, like a military cut? Yeah. Yeah, well.
All gone.
He's trying to grow me up, I guess. Well, let's move on. Before we recorded this, I asked everybody, hey, I'm going to be talking to my mom. What do you want to ask my mom? We got her right here, Miss Mimosa. You know, we do walkie-talkies sometimes where we walk and talk to you. This is kind of like a recorded walkie-talkie, except we're city, and we talk to you. In a little bit, we're going to do a mukbang. Are you getting hungry?
A little bit.
Okay. We're going to go to a place that is pretty famous in Hickory. It's called the Hickory Station, and it's walking distance from here. So when we get done with this, at the end of the show, we'll do a mukbanging with Mimosa in studio style. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Do you have the opening to the Ask Betty segment, or do you want to do it in post?
Yes, I do. I'll play it right now for you.
All right, here we go. This is back in the old days, before we were country-ish, a segment that we did. Remember that? Mm-hmm. All right.
If you got a problem, big or petty. No need to worry, just
Ask Betty.
That's great. You got a good voice, Mama. Okay. Now, you have carte blanche. That means you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. This is a safe space, as they say. Okay. And I don't want you to hold back. You were honest about the share stare. Mm-hmm. I want you to keep being honest. Okay. This is from Lily Williams. Big fan, big supporter. I know this guy. He was on Eastbound and Down with me. He makes his own designer suits. But he said, yes, with her son being one of America's greatest comedians, thank you, Lily, does she ever have times she says, son, don't you talk about this? Have you ever had one instance where you're thinking, I'd rather you not do that bit, or I'd rather you not say that? You've never come to me and said anything that I remember.
The only thing that I can remember is one time you did it was funny, but it wasn't funny, about a kid who had short arms and...
Oh, that was a make-believe person. That person did not exist.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I did a bit about speed walking. The bit was about speed walking and how ridiculous I thought it looked. And that it was an Olympic event. Like, I can't believe there are people walking around today with gold medals that they earned speed walking. And I said, what's next? And I came up with other random sports. I said, what's next? Tennis for people with tiny arms? And I acted out what that would look like, and he's bouncing the ball, and he throws it up and hits it like this. But that's not based on an actual human being.
Right.
That's just based on what I think it would look like. It looked ridiculous to me. Ignore that phone call. Dad called me one time. This is when I was living in L.A. I had a bit about Uncle William.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
And he called me up. I remember this phone call because I was in my car. It was a rainy day. I pulled off to the side of the road just to talk. He said, you got this bit where you say Uncle William is like an idiot savant. Could you not do that anymore? I'm like, all right, Dad, this is your one get out of jail for free card. You can use it now, or you can wait and use it later. But once you use it, you can never do it again because I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I'm sorry. I just am. And he goes, okay, well, let's go ahead and use it. But there you go. So Mom's never said anything to me, though. You've never came to me and said anything, which I love.
The only thing I have said is, what's your language?
Language.
And I'd always say, you know who loves you.
Mm-hmm. Mama and Jesus.
That's right.
That's right. And you, definitely don't like it anytime someone uses the Lord's name in vain.
Nope.
So I try to stay away from that as much as possible because I know you're watching me. All right. Samantha Dawn Kingston, she said, what was the meanest thing Jon ever did? Or was he a genuine good kid growing up?
Oh, man, I don't recall him ever doing anything mean. I think when he accidentally kicked Jason in the mouth when y'all were practicing karate.
Yes.
Jason had on braces, and you knocked the braces loose, and one or two teeth were just dangling there.
That was an accident.
It was an accident.
We were sparring, and I did a reverse spinning hook kick to his mouth, which was intended for the back of his head. But we had pads on. So we had full pads. I would have hit him, but it wouldn't have done any damage. But he turned around as I was spinning. So when he turned around, it got him right here. But, yeah, that was an accident. I thought you were going to say the time I pushed him down the stairs as a kid.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
About that, yes. And that's right. We were living at Route 4-5 Foster Street in Newton.
Yeah.
And I was cooking breakfast or something, and you used to sit on, there were 4 steps going from the kitchen up to the bedrooms.
Yeah.
And you used to sit there, and Jason was trying to crawl down, and you were taking up most of the third step,
Okay.
and he must have touched you or
He
something.
must have come across my path.
And you swiped at him, and he fell, and he had 2 teeth, I think,
Yeah.
and they pushed way back up in his
So I've been
gums.
messing with this kid's teeth his whole life.
I know, it's the
Jason, I'm so sorry. Jason, I'm sorry, and I love you. He just had eye surgery, and I texted him or I called him beforehand. He says he's doing better today. He got lens replacement or something.
replacement.
Yeah. So
LASIK
his
or
eyes, his teeth. Poor fella.
And do you know that he went to the gym this morning?
Yeah, I believe that. Oh, he
He
went to the
wasn't
gym?
He wasn't
He's
supposed
addicted. There are many things to be addicted to. Luckily, Jason is addicted to working out. And that's what he's addicted to. He gets up in the morning. He works out at like 5 or 6 in the morning or something. Goes to work. Well, he comes home, showers, then goes to work, then goes to the gym again. He does 2 a days.
Yeah. Well, going back to when you accidentally kicked him, you were devastated.
Oh,
I mean, you were so scared.
yeah,
And when you saw all the blood,
yeah.
and I had told David when he left the house, when they called and said, I said, if he needs to go to the hospital, don't come home.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, he comes home, and there's blood everywhere. He said, I wanted to clean him up before we took him to the hospital. And when I saw his lip was split
Yeah,
open,
yeah,
and when I saw that, I almost fainted.
yeah.
And so
He's recovered nicely. He's a handsome fella. But that was all. We were taking Karakido karate. We were sparring after class, waiting for Dad to pick us up. So class was over, but we were still just fighting. And, yeah, he walked into it.
yeah.
And I wasn't particularly mad at him. He happened to be kicking my butt that day. Before that kick, he was winning. And I think that was kind of making me mad.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I didn't come out of anger. I was just
No.
doing what I was taught.
You didn't mean to do it, and you were devastated that
Yeah.
he was hurt like that. Because y'all have always been close, always.
Yeah. I mean, during our teenage years, he had his own friends. I had my own friends. And we would bicker. I would steal his clothes. He would steal my clothes. We'd have a crush on the same girls. But once he went off to college, he went to Western Carolina, and I was still home at CVCC. That's when I started getting my act together, because I was like, wow, Jason's grown up, and he's younger than me. And then I started missing him. So we became closer after we went away from each other and came back. All right, let's go on to the next one. Jackie saying, Green, did you get in a lot of trouble in school?
All the time. I got called repeatedly, and you would have notes from your teachers, and when we would go through the book bag to do your homework and everything, I'd find the notes. You got to where you were eating the notes. You didn't throw them away, you ate them.
I did not know. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you confessed that to me, because if a teacher would finally call and say, did you get my note about so-and-so? And I said, no. And when I confront you, well, I ate those notes.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I was not a good student growing up. Not mean, just no attention. I'd rather get laughs
Yep.
than get good grades, and that's what I did. I wasn't stupid. I just didn't try. I just didn't care. But I remember Miss Hampton, 3rd grade teacher, what did she tell you guys?
She told me, finally, she said, y'all need to just sell everything you have and take this child to Hollywood. He is so funny. He's disruptive in class, but he is funny.
Well, there you go. Miss Hampton was right. That was 3rd grade. It wouldn't be another 10, 12, 15 years till I would actually make the move.
Yep.
Whatever that math is. Again, I didn't do math either. I remember Miss Hedrick, 6th grade teacher, would actually back in the day, they used to pin notes to you in elementary school. They would pin a note to your chest. I mean, to your clothes, not to your chest, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that you walk home, you couldn't get rid of it, you couldn't lose it. It was pinned to your chest. I remember this. I forgot who did the pinning back in the day, but I hated those notes. And then, but Miss Hedrick, I mean, she spanked me a lot, but she also was really good at making me do homework. Like I actually did homework. I learned a lot, even though I got paddled a lot. They don't spank anymore. But I mean, I learned a lot from Miss Hedrick, you know.
And too, back then, when you got a paddling, they didn't have to notify you. I never knew that she was that abusive, or she would have had to deal with me.
Yeah. I was getting spanked probably every week, once a week.
With a
With
really
a paddle.
big paddle.
Yeah, and parachute pants. They don't block much. All right, Scott Reese, is there anything that comes up in your stand-up that she didn't know about until then? If so, how was it discussed? Is there anything about me you discovered watching stand-up? You're like, whoa, I didn't know this.
Yeah, about all the parties that you had even at the house while we were gone somewhere.
Oh, I don't know if I ever
Or
talked
all
about
the
that.
parties that you went to and the fights you got in at, was it yesterday's?
Yesterday's, yeah.
I never knew that you partied like that. Never.
Yeah.
You weren't brought up like that.
Oh, I get it honest though. David Reep. Y'all didn't teach me that. I just learned that. But all right, so there's one, Scott. Thanks for the question. Matt Duddick, Mom, how do you put up with his goofiness on today's goof off day? How do you put up with my goofiness?
I've always laughed at you, even when you did things that you didn't like to be told no, and even when you did things that you knew you weren't supposed to do, and I tried to correct you, you would make this face.
Oh.
And I could not, after I would laugh and laugh and laugh. That was the funniest face. And you learned very quickly that got you out of trouble.
Okay.
All you had to do is make that face.
Alan, I'm going to do the face. So I know what she's talking about. If I ever want to get out of trouble, and it doesn't look the same with the beard, and it's not going to be cute anymore. But back in the day, if I got in trouble, I would do this. And immediately she'd be like, what? And I knew that. All right. Justin Day, what kinds of things did you hear at Jon's parent-teacher conferences? What did you hope Jon would be when he grew up? And when did you realize he was not headed for a normal career?
Whoa, that's
That's
a
a
lot.
three-parter. So whatever you want.
At conferences, we would hear that you were really smart, but you couldn't keep still. Nowadays, they probably would have put you on medication.
Yeah, they would have given me drugs.
Yeah, but if you were bored.
Yeah.
Because you knew a lot of the stuff that they were teaching. I mean, you had such good common sense that your mind would wander and you would think things and do things, and you'd get called on for not paying attention.
Right.
And so
And then once I made people laugh, I mean, it was over. That's all I cared about. When did you know I wasn't heading for a normal career?
when did I know that you were not headed?
Yeah. When did you
Well-
know that I'm going to be a stand-up and not have a normal job?
The day you came home from UNC, when you were working at UNC Public TV, I mean, you were about ready to graduate, and you were working behind the scenes. Also, I didn't really know how often you went to
Good nights.
Charlie Goodnight's, and how that acting bug had hit you. And you came home and said, I've turned in my notice. Going to go to Hollywood. I could not believe it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm quitting everything here, and I'm going at the advice of someone who was at Charlie Goodnight's that moved to California.
well, you're putting a lot of stuff in one moment. That was
Okay.
probably about 2 or 3 years drawn out right there. I graduated already. I was working at UNC TV, behind the scenes TV show called UNC TV, called North Carolina Now. Doing stand-up at night on the weekends. Had won some competitions here and there, festivals. Quit my job to do it full time, and it wasn't until a couple of years later that I moved to LA. But You're probably thinking of the time that I came home, maybe on a weekend to visit. I was living in Raleigh. Came home and said, I quit my job, and I'm going to do comedy full time. That's probably when you found out. I remember Dad saying, because on Wednesday nights we'd go to West Hickory Baptist Church for Wednesday night supper.
Right.
And we'd sit at all the table together with other people from your Sunday school class. You know, Butch, Kathy, everybody. And around the table he goes, well, I got someone asked Dad about, like, what do you think about John being a stand-up? And his response was priceless. He goes, well, I got 2 boys. One of them is a comedian, and he's a ball to be around. And my other son has a job. Which I love that quote, because he's saying simultaneously that what I do is not a real job, and Jason is not a ball to be around. So that's a good one. All right. I'm getting hungry. Are you getting hungry?
I could eat.
All right. Well, hey, Alan, let's take another break.
Sure.
And when we come back, we'll just go straight to a mukbanging with Mimosa.
That sounds great.
All right. We'll be right back. Are you in debt? Let me holler at you a minute. Credit cards, student loans, mortgages, car loans, hospital bills. Did you know you have a lot of rights if any of these ever go into debt collections? That's right. Consumers, not debt collectors, have a huge list of rules they have to abide by, and that is where the law firm Sue the Collector comes in. SueTheCollector.com is a national consumer law firm that only helps consumers. The lawyers at Sue the Collector have helped literally thousands of people turn the tables on debt collectors and put an end to the illegal harassment, abuse, and repeated phone calls that many people find themselves subjected to through no fault of their own. That's a mouthful. The lawyers at Sue the Collector can help everyone in all 50 states, have won millions for consumers over the years, and have canceled over $1 billion in consumer-related debts. That's right, $1 billion. Right now, they really want to speak to anyone that's had their car repossessed. Did you know consumers do not have to allow repo men to take their cars against their will? In most cases, you can actually legally refuse to let them take your car. If you've ever been objected to a car repo and they still got your car against your will, you may be sitting on a very valuable case. So call Sue the Collector's office right now at 1-877-BAD-REPO or 1-877-223-7376. Again, that's 1-877-BAD-REPO or 1-877-223-7376. They're open right now to take your call. Again, that is 1-877-BAD-REPO. All right, we are back and we have food. Welcome to another edition of Mukbanging with Mimosa, right?
Right.
Mukbanging
With
Mimosa. All right. And we got food from the Old Hickory Station. It's an iconic place right here in Hickory, North Carolina, right across the street next to some railroad tracks. They've been around forever. They got good beer. They've got every kind of beer you could think of and a good, nice menu. And we have ordered some food from there, and we're going to eat it right now and tell you what we think, right?
Right.
All right, Mama, you go first. What'd you get?
I got the All-American cheeseburger. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
you did.
big.
That's a big old cheeseburger. Now, can we show it to the camera? How about you hold it up towards that camera right there? Oh, yeah. Can you see that, Ellen?
Yeah, gotcha.
That's the All-American cheeseburger. Okay, it's good. With fries. Looks like they got a pickle spear, sliced pickle. Mm-hmm. Onions, tomatoes, lettuce, and it looks and smells delicious. Mom's going in for the pickle right out the gate. First bite was a pickle by itself, huh? Did you like it? Okay. And here's what I got. I'll show it to the camera. I got the shrimp and grits, basically. Shrimp skewer grit cake. And some sort of sauce right here. and we're gonna dive in. See what we think. Now, do you? I know now. When I was a kid, sometimes you'd cut my food for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need me to assemble this burger and cut it up for you, or do you got it?
I think I've got it.
Okay. I mean, it's a big one. I don't know what this stuff is. Okay. Yeah, some sort of hollandaise sauce, I think. The grits, I mean, the shrimp looks good. I'm taking it off the skewer. How do you feel about shrimp and grits, Mom? And that's a southern dish that I feel like people who are never been to the South, they come down there and they think, oh, we got to eat the shrimp and grits like they do in the old movies. Is that something that you would eat as a kid?
No.
No? Okay.
And I wouldn't eat it as an adult either. I don't think.
Why do we hate shrimp and grits?
Well, I like grits with scrambled eggs and bacon and toast.
To you, it's only breakfast, right? That's good. Yeah.
This is a
The
big.
sauce makes it.
Is it a hot sauce? Or
No? Oh, but we do have Jon Reep's hickory hot sauce, so good to make your head shake. Now, Mom, I know you don't like hot sauce, period.
Nope.
No matter even if it's me or anybody. Texas Pete, nobody. So we're not going to ask you to put that on your burger. But I see that you have cut it in two. Remember when I asked you if you needed help?
I think I do.
Okay. Well, what do you need? You need me to cut it, or do you need... Hang
I
on.
need to find my
You want a knife?
knife again.
Knife is right here. Just take mine.
'Cause I
So you
didn't get it
somehow
cut
lost her
through.
knife in the process of cutting it. I feel like I should help.
I didn't want to cut through the box, but
Yeah,
I'm going to anyway.
that's all right. We can clean up later. Oh, there's your knife. I'll take that one back. Now, we got ketchup, mustard. There's mayonnaise already on your burger.
Yes.
How do you like your burger? That's,
Like this, but it's so big. I don't think I can get my little mouth across this,
yeah.
but I'm going to try. Is this, for me, a napkin?
Yes, that's you, a napkin.
Very good.
Okay. Well, I know you're not going to eat all of that burger,
No, I'm not.
so I am looking forward to a bite of it as well.
Okay.
But I am really enjoying the shrimp and grits. So you were saying you just do not see grits as anything other than a breakfast item.
Right.
I never really,
What's that?
it's some kind of tomato relish. Oh my goodness. That's really good. It's like a tapenade, maybe? Tomato sort of tapenade thingy, my bobby. Whatever it is, I'm glad you pointed it out because it's really good. Do you want to attempt shrimp and grits? Do you like shrimp at all? Mm-hmm. But you like fried shrimp, don't you? Mm-hmm. Would you like a bite of my shrimp and grits?
Yes. I will
Give
take
me
a
your
bite.
fork and I will assemble a perfect bite for you. Now enjoy your burger while I do this. Or talk about something.
This is it's well done, which is the way I like it, but not too well done. It's very good.
Here you go. Enjoy shrimp and grits. What's happening?
I'm chewing.
Lots of flavors in your mouth. Your water's over here. I just didn't want you to spill it. That lid's bouncing around makes me nervous.
It's okay, but I would never order it.
Yeah. Do you, so when you go out to eat,
I do not experiment. I mean, it has to be regular, good American food.
No.
And I know they consider that American, and
But what is it about you just don't want to try? Why?
because I'm afraid if I don't like it, then I'll just have to go hungry.
No, you could get something else.
No, I wouldn't do that.
To you, it's like a waste of money. You were
waste
brought
of
up
money.
in the Depression era, and you cannot fathom the fact that if you experiment on something and you don't like it, that you would just throw it away and have to get something back. It's a waste of food for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a little bit correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're not in the Depression era anymore. And I got you. If you like to try things and throw it away, you know, we have interns we could feed them. Now, let me get some of this burger over here. Why don't you,
You cut it.
was this one for me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You did
Oh,
a
that's
horrible
big.
cutting job.
Pardon.
Look at this cutting job she did.
That's where the other half of my top is. Or bottom.
See, I don't get lettuce or tomatoes on a burger. It just adds to the mess. It falls apart.
But it's
So
good.
it's not good holding it. If I order this, I'll be like, no thank you. And I like lettuce. I like salads. This,
No onion?
unnecessary. No, I wasn't. I was moving
Oh.
the onions so I could get the tomatoes
Okay.
off. And then I put this on here like this. I mean, it's a little bit, you know, more manageable. But the only thing on here is mayonnaise. So I'm gonna put some ketchup on here.
You want any mustard?
No, I think mustard for me, it's not my favorite thing. For me, mustard is just for hot dogs. I don't really put them on burgers that much. But that's just me. What say you? Do you like them on everything?
I do. Very good.
Well, yeah,
It's better than what you have.
that's your opinion. Okay, so I would go a little less cooked. They did you a favor and cooked it the way you wanted without me having to ask them.
Right.
Because she didn't ask me, how do you want it cooked?
No, she didn't.
So which means, I guess, it's just going to be well. Or not well done. Not. I guess it's well done. Because I like mine rare. Medium rare. A little bit of pink on the insides, how I prefer it. And the bun is good, but it's a little
Thick.
big. It's a little much. But it's very good. And I get your point about having a tiny mouth. It's hard to get all that in there. So, you know, the flavor's great. It's just, I would have not cooked it as much and maybe had a flatter bun. Texas toast is always good. Do I have stuff in my face? I'm sure I do. I can feel it. Now, one final bite. Okay. Shout out Samantha Dawn Kingston
Yes.
for making our MUKBANGING with MOM'OSA bibs. And if you're ever in Hickory, I recommend Hickory Station. That's a confusing issue too. One of the things I'd change is mayor. We got to make it more. We got to make it less confusing for people. There's a Hickory Tavern. There's the old Hickory Tavern. There's the Hickory Station.
Yes.
That's three things with Hickory in it. And you call up your friends. Say, where you going? Meet me at the Hickory something something. There's been many times where I went to the wrong place. I'm like, where are you guys at? I'm here. No, you're not. I'm here. And then you have to get out of your car, And you can walk to your car and drive to the next place. So, Hickory Station, by the railroad tracks. Good food, good people. Go say hey. Hickory Tavern, also good. Then there's the Hickory Tap Room, right? That's a whole different one. Tavern, Tap Room, Station. All of them have hickory in it. Mm-hmm. But excellent. Now, Mom,
Yes.
let's rate the cheeseburger. I forgot how we used to have a rating system, didn't we? On a scale of 1 to something. Do we ever have one of those?
I give it 2 thumbs up.
You give the Hickory Station 2 thumbs up. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm glad you got the American burger.
Too. I have been wanting a good cheeseburger for weeks now.
You know what's funny? Earlier in the conversation, you said that you got pains when I was born, March 26, 1972, after eating a bunch of burgers. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I hope you're not pregnant again.
Boy, that would be a miracle.
No, please. But I'm going to finish my shrimp and grits because I think it's great. And not only that, this, I forgot what they called it. I should look up the menu. This tomato-based tapenade is really good. I mean, I don't like tomatoes in this form. I like them in this form. But there you go, folks. Hickory Station. Check it out. Mama Mimosa gives it 2 thumbs up. I'm going to go 2 thumbs up as well on the shrimp and grits, not just for breakfast. Pretty good. And they got wood-fired pizzas there. They got all kinds of good stuff. So, the Alan Jackson, I think we shall end this episode
Okay.
because now I'm full of gas.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you guys are about done. For
Pleasantly plump.
Yeah.
Thanks for, oh my gosh, thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good time up in here. Like I said, I'll get to the comments you left next week. Appreciate you leaving comments. Appreciate you hitting that share button. Appreciate you getting on the Patreon page and being a supporter at the $5 level or up. Appreciate you writing reviews on Apple Podcasts. Appreciate all you do. And, yeah, I guess check out Countryish, countryish.com. And for the Alan Jackson, for my lovely mother, Betty Reep, also known as Mimosa, I wish you a bicycle.
Bicycle.
All right.
Well, life on the farm is kinda laid back, but I wouldn't know that I'm from a cul-de-sac. Don't chew tobacco and I don't smoke crack. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm, but I do know a guy with only one arm. Keep your fancy smartphones and your self-parked cars. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, I got a podcast that'll make you giggle. It ain't number 1, it's right in the middle. The town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for Country-ish. Go on, you.
Hey everybody, it's me again. I just want to say thank you for listening or watching this podcast. You know, we couldn't do this without supporters like you. Oh wait, are you not a supporter? Well, you could be. It's real simple. Go to countryishpodcast.com. Click on the word support. That will take you to our Patreon page. That's our support page. And from there, you can support us many different ways. There's different levels. You got $5 and up. You got Pewter Pro, Rhinestone level, Executive Zirconia, all the way up to Platinum Elite. And all of them come with different rewards. We're talking hats, t-shirts, ginger beard masks, even be a guest on the show. You got to check out our Patreon page. Go to countryishpodcast.com, click on support, and thank you.
Go on. Yeah.
picking out over here. Hope to see some of y'all in Wisconsin, where they have good American cheese as well. And they have all kinds of cheese in Wisconsin, Mom. Mm-hmm. But you just like good old American cheese.
I
huh?
do.
What about Swiss cheese? How about Gouda? You don't like Gouda?
I don't know. I've never
See,
had
that's
it.
exactly why you should experiment. Because it might be your favorite cheese.
It might